The ranking member, the gentlewoman from New Jersey, Mrs. McIver, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Lazarus, thank you once again for joining us today. In your testimony, you discussed how China will be hosting a summit with Latin America and Caribbean states next week. China and Cuba also both belong to the BRICS group, along with Brazil, Russia, India, and a total of 23 countries. BRICS has become a serious political force as the nations belonging to BRICS now account for almost 30% of the world's GDP, 40% of the oil production, and almost half the world's population. We have seen what Trump's repeated tariff threats are doing to the economy, both at home and globally, while eroding trust in the US dollar. Trump's foreign policies are only making groups like the BRICS more powerful as our geopolitical rivals work to fill the void that President Trump has created with this America Last policies. Mr. Lazarus, as America recedes from the world stage, how are BRICS and other multinational groups exerting power and influence?
Well, Ranking Member, thank you so much for the question. You're absolutely right. I mean, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, when taken together, they represent more than 30% of global GDP. And they've really been using this multilateral institution in order to create alternative financial institutions to the Western-built ones built right after World War II. So you think the New Development Bank or the BRICS Bank that could fund various projects in the developing world. There's talk about them creating a BRICS currency that could mean that they can settle trade accounts not using the US dollar, which could potentially weaken the US dollar's dominance in the globe. But it goes to a larger narrative that the Chinese and our other adversaries try to use in the Global South, which is that the United States doesn't necessarily care about the Global South. All they care about is realist ideology, especially in this region in Latin America and the Caribbean. There is this narrative that the Chinese try to say, which is that the United States only wants to impose the Monroe Doctrine 2.0. And I am concerned that certain things, certain policies could really allow the Chinese to continue to spread that narrative in Latin America and the Caribbean.
Thank you for that. Just to follow up, in your opinion, do you think China ultimately stands to benefit from the pause in foreign aid underneath the Trump administration?
Well, we're seeing already on a global scale that China has already stepped up its foreign aid in countries like Cambodia, Nepal. As I mentioned, next week they're going to be hosting the fourth ministerial of the China-CELAC summit. And I expect that after that summit, there's going to be a joint action plan between China and CELAC on China increasing exports of renewable energy and electric vehicles and solar panels. And again, it's another way for China to project itself as a reliable partner at a time where other countries are perceiving potentially the U.S. as tariffing other countries. And it's also a way for China to project itself as the defender of globalization and free trade going forward. That is a concern.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lazarus. With that, I yield back, Chairman.
Gentlewoman yields. I now recognize the gentleman from Arizona.